What's up, guys? Hellish Hero Animations back at it again, doing another figure slash vinyl review. This time on the Herculoids. Well, two, two of the Herculoids. I said I was going to do Samus next, but I think I'm going to do her third because I ended up getting this guy unexpectedly. I did pay a decent penny for him for Tundra. I paid around, well, 40, around $50 with shipping and tax. I went to 60. So, yeah. And, I can make that money back, but still, I didn't want to pay a whole lot for him. But this guy is very rare, and he's very hard to come by in the secondhand market. And that was just for him loose. So I got him $50 loose. So you can only imagine how much he's worth, brand new in box. Um, but yeah, so I will be reviewing him and Xandor together. So let's see a little bit of history. If you haven't seen, I highly recommend you check out my Toonami review of my Toonami Herculoid figures. Um, those figures are kind of based off their Space Stars incarnation, which is technically not really a sequel series to the original 60s cartoon, but more of um, somewhat continuation of the characters. Like Space Stars, it was the Herculoids, Space Ghosts, Galaxy Trio, maybe like a few other Hanna-Barbera characters. But so the whole show, I think each episode was about those different characters, so it wasn't just one particular group of characters. So the Space Stars, excuse me, the episodes were a little bit more lighthearted. Oh, excuse me. The animation was a little bit more updated, but it was a little sloppy in some sequences. Um, One thing about the original, one difference from these figures compared to the Toonami figures was that, well, the Toonami figures, they made all of the family. There's 8 of them in total. You know, Unfortunately, I don't know if it was because they lost the license or what, but the company who made these figures, X Plus, um, back on Xandor's butt, on the back of Xandor's butt, you can see X Plus, Hanna-Barbera, made in China. So, yeah. So these figures are, of course, a lot more updated than the Toonami figures. The Toonami figures were made in like the early 2000s, very early 2000s. These were made around like 2012, 2014. And these were sold in stores, surprisingly, like Walmart. And I, for the life of me, never saw these in a Walmart. But yeah, so these are based off their original designs. Them look more cartoon accurate. Tundro looks more like how he does in the cartoon, or how he did in the cartoon. Xandor looks more accurate. His skirt design is different than from the Toonami version, um, which was based off how he looked in Space Stars. His eyes are dark blue. You might be able to see. Yeah, his eyes are dark blue. And that's how it was in the original cartoon. His eyes were dark blue. Him, Xandor, his wife, Tara, and their son, Dorno, all had dark blue eyes. So I guess you could say it was hereditary. Um, Unfortunately, these figures, well, they're more like figurines. They have limited articulation. Uh, Xandor's head, I'm not going to show it because I'm holding my phone with my other hand. Xandor's head can go 360. Both his arms can go 360. His legs can go a little back and forth. It's a little hindered because of the skirt piece, but his legs are movable. And the shield is molded to his arm. So, yeah. But for what they are, like I said, I might get another version. The shield, his crown. They are Oh, yeah, they are very solid for the for who the characters are representing. These are very solid collector pieces for anybody who's a fan of the Herculoids or just a fan of Hanna-Barbera in general. Um, like I said, very happy to have them. Very happy to have them. So that's all the articulation for Xandor. And Tundro, this is easy. I believe, yeah. His head, I believe his head can go 360. And he's kind of heavy, so he has some weight to him. There's the bottom of him. I'm gonna have to wash him off. He has a few markings on him. Um, Also has molded in there as the hang on. Sorry, has some stuff on his feet. He has his backside, so his tail is just molded into his body. There's him looking straight forward. So yeah. So oh, yeah. Oh, my bad. My bad. Trying to fix it. So yeah. Um like I said, so very brief. You kind of can stand Xandor on top of Tundro, but you have to balance him. It's kind of unfortunate he can't sit on top of him. So all I can do is just stand next to him and look cool. I do think these fit in well with the Toonami figures. They're around the same size. It's a tad bit smaller. So yeah, but this is a very small review. Um, my final thoughts. If you you have to really love the Herculoids to buy these figures, especially because they're decently expensive on the secondhand market. Only recommend them if you have become or if you are a diehard fan and you have enough money that you can put to the side to buy these figures. I highly recommend it. I mean, for what they are, they're solid. You will not be disappointed. You know, it's very limited merchandise period of these characters. Like I said, it's very unfortunate that they didn't make the rest of the family. You know, but I can only imagine, how challenging that could have been if they had made, Zoc, the dragon, Igu, the rock ape. Gloop and Gleep would have been easy because they're blobs. And then, of course, the son, Dorno, the wife, Tara, they shouldn't have been too difficult to make. But, yeah. Sorry about that background noise. Got a little interrupted. But, yeah, so I love these figures. It makes me thankful that I own the Toonami figures, even though they're back home in Atlanta. Um, but still, I'm glad I have these as well because these are another option, and I want to get as many limited figures as there are. Um, as far as my next purchase, there are some Herculoid figurines that I've been wanting to get. These were Japanese, I believe these were Japanese only kind of gashapon figurine style figures. So the one I found is Tara and Gloop and Gleep. I think they may be a little bit smaller than these figures. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure, but you know, I still really like to have them. And they come with some type of bonus Japanese disc. I'm not sure if it's like an episode in Japanese or what, but it seems pretty interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna get those. And there's another figurine of Tara. I mean, not Tara, Dorno and Xandor together. Uh, that one's a little harder to find, so hopefully I can find that one as well. And at that point, that would complete my Herculoid collection as far as figures go. There's also cell animations, posters, well, custom posters. There's other unofficial merchandise of the characters that I could pick up, that I'll probably pick up. But yeah, so that may be my next purchase. But yeah, so that's all for now. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and to stay tuned for my future content. So, peace, you guys.